The light-haired man, alarmed and pointing upward, drew attention to the sky, while the dark-haired man, surprised and sweaty, questioned the appearance of the monstrous entity looming ominously above the city. As the monstrous entity cast its shadow over the city, a mysterious silhouette figure stood against the crimson sky, heralding the dawn of the mythical era. As vicious ghosts began their invasion of the world, terrifying creatures descended upon the chaos-stricken scene as a dark-haired boy ran frantically, chased by menacing beings, while a brown-haired boy scrambled in panic to escape their relentless pursuit. In the midst of this chaos, a group of diverse characters, each mastering their unique skills, emerged to showcase their weapons and magical abilities, signaling a powerful stand against the encroaching threats. The encouraging message in the white text box urged those facing the daunting challenges to elevate their ranks and amplify their strength, infusing a sense of determination amidst the chaos. Amidst the intense battle, the awakened ones fought against the ghostly monsters, carving out a space of survival for humanity as a mysterious hooded figure focused intently, aiming a bow at a leopard monster, while a determined sword wielder guarded against a wolf monster with unwavering alertness. In a triumphant display, a heroic and commanding armored warrior raised a glowing sword against the fiery backdrop, symbolizing the dawn of the mythical era and the rise of awakened professionals. As the anticipation reached its peak, an unknown speaker announced the commencement of the awakening ceremony at the school amidst the rustling of trees in the foreground. With anticipation in the air, the authoritative dark-haired man addressed the assembled students, informing them that today marked the day they would awaken to become professionals. As they gathered around the glowing magical platform, the bearded instructor, Luhu, passionately addressed the crowd, emphasizing that their future destinies were directly linked to the day's events. Among the hopeful crowd, the confident young man, Funhao, walked forward, reflecting on his years since transmigrating and expressing his wish for every student to awaken their desired profession on this pivotal day at Haising High School. As the tense atmosphere lingered, an unnamed speaker called for Fanga to step forward, and he confidently agreed to do so, embodying determination amidst the scrutinizing gazes of his peers. With determination etched on his face, the dark-haired young man confidently walked past the crowd, embodying the resolve to embrace his destiny amidst the watchful eyes. As the dark-haired young man continued his path, two girls nearby discussed with intrigue and excitement what profession might awaken to, guessing he would become a priest due to his handsome looks. While a mysterious man walked by in the background, the man in sunglasses critically remarked on the importance of professions over appearance, prompting the confident blonde-haired man to agree, while an observant background figure dismissed their statements as mere jealousy of Fanga's good looks. A focused and observant bearded man intensely examined Fang Zhao's profile, noting his excellent physical fitness and academic prowess, while a mysterious figure surrounded by glowing circles approached. The bearded man thoughtfully contemplated that it was no wonder so many were paying attention to Fang Hao. In the shadows of the room, the dark-haired young man, focused and determined, reached out and activated the glowing magical symbol, setting into motion the mysterious forces that lay within. With an unwavering gaze and eyes aglow, the dark-haired young man looked intently forward, his determination solidifying as he embraced the mysterious forces now coursing through him. As the Uruk spectators watched the powerful energy blast erupt around the lone figure, they marveled at the possibility that Fang Zhao's awakened profession might be as extraordinary as his reputation suggested. A mysterious and urgent figure clad in gloves reached out with surprise for the swirling green energy. As the room buzzed with the potent magic unleashed by Fang Zhao's awakening, the atmosphere grew even more ominous as a massive dark force crashed onto the large field, signaling the arrival of a new, daunting challenge. A bearded man, astonished by the swirling energy around him, pondered what incredible profession this young individual had awakened to trigger such a phenomenon in heaven and earth. As the bearded man's thoughts lingered on the incredible awakening, a horde of skeletal warriors and cloaked figures led by an armored skeleton advanced menacingly towards an unseen target, their glowing eyes fixed on the ominous tree with a gaping M. The dark-haired boy stood resolute, facing the formidable mystical figures who loomed over him with an air of intimidation as he prepared to confront the looming challenge with unwavering determination. Amidst the intimidating mystical figures, the haired boy confidently raised his sword, channeling the swirling energy around him with a triumphant stance. The dark-haired boy, now identified as a necromancer, found himself enveloped by dark energy, surprised yet resolute as he acknowledged his new profession and the swirling power that accompanied it. As the dark-haired figure stood amidst the swirling energy, he pondered whether this newfound path was truly his destined profession. The dark-haired boy, still processing the swirling energy and his newfound identity, looked puzzled as he turned to the group, who were laughing hysterically, seemingly amused by the situation. The blond boy, along with his companions, mocked the dark-haired necromancer's awakening, finding it amusing that such a rare profession was considered the weakest among combat roles. The dark-haired boy turned his attention away from the laughter to confront the shadowy figure. Considering the warning about necromancer's dependence on the undead realm's connection, the mystical and eerie skeleton with a sinister aura reached out toward the determined robed figure, questioning where living humans could possibly learn about the undead realm given the inherent opposition between life and death. With determination flickering in his eyes, the confident necromancer Feng Zhao examined the glowing display of his attributes, asserting internally that his uniqueness set him apart from others. As a powerful fist punched through the glowing barrier, the system congratulated the determined dark-haired boy for awakening the undead realm experience system, marking a triumphant moment in his journey as a necromancer. Holding the glowing green orb with anticipation, the dark-haired youth, feeling a sense of long-awaited destiny, acknowledged the arrival of his golden opportunity, albeit 18 years late. As the eerie green energy pulsed around him, the system informed Feng Zhao that he had unlocked a connection to the undead realm, automatically generating a clone to aid him on his path. The system explained that Feng Zhao, now able to explore the undead realm through his skeleton clone, could devour other undead creatures to level up and grow stronger, while warning him about the unknown risks of summoning the clone to the real world. The dark-haired figure, fully embracing the ominous potential of his necromancer abilities, conjured green energy with a determined focus, realizing that the system was indeed perfectly suited for his exploration of the undead realm. The mysterious and confident shadowy figure smirked, embodying the dark allure of the powers that Feng Zhao had just begun to grasp. With a dramatic flair, an unseen presence commanded the mystical forces to summon, echoing the intensity of Feng Zhao's newfound necromancer powers. As the eerie atmosphere enveloped the scene, the skeletal figure with glowing eyes acknowledged that the clone standing before him was indeed his own in the undead realm, while an unseen narrator explained that he could briefly possess it to experience this otherworldly domain. Swirling with eerie green energy, the skeleton clone demonstrated its formidable ability by devouring other undead creatures, enhancing its own power, and allowing the host to summon the slain entities to fight. In reality, the sinister skeletal figure surrounded by undead warriors contemplated that by killing enough adversaries, it could maintain an endless supply of summons. The dominant and ambitious armored figure standing against the foreboding red sky and jagged landscape confidently declared that the entire undead realm would serve as their hunting ground. The skull-faced figure, exuding a commanding presence, decided to postpone the exploration of the undead realm, instructing the system to bring the clone into the real world immediately. As a mystical green aura swirled around, an unseen entity communicated its understanding and began the process of summoning the skeleton clone. A glowing magical symbol radiated energy, casting a mystical ambience over the scene. As the summoning process unfolded, the skeletal figure, menacing and mysterious, stood before the glowing magical symbol, embodying the ominous energy that filled the air. The dark-haired man, determined and confident, summoned the skeleton clone directly into reality, marking it as his most powerful summon. The authoritative bearded man with an inquisitive air called out to Bai Shurao Chan, who stood composed alongside the mysterious skeleton figure, questioning internally how such a promising individual awakened to this unusual profession. The girl in yellow with unwavering optimism encouraged Fanga by expressing her belief that he could achieve legendary status as a necromancer and admired the coolness of the skeleton he had summoned. The blonde guy, visibly annoyed, complained loudly to his companions about how Fonzeo, despite his seemingly weak necromancer profession, still attracted admiration, questioning the fairness of it all, a determined character scheming to disrupt Feng Zhao's progress, resolved that shattering the skeleton would significantly impede Feng Zhao's advancement as a necromancer. The blonde man, calm and focused, confidently held his sharp, glowing arrow, casting a tense atmosphere as the skeleton figure observed menacingly. The white shirt figure, calm yet powerful, extended a hand that emitted a dazzling burst of energy, intensifying the charged atmosphere as both adversaries prepared for the impending confrontation. The skeleton warrior with its glowing blue eyes menacingly threatened the adversaries, declaring its hostile intent. The dark-haired young man, embodying confidence and composure, stood amidst swirling energy waves, his power radiating with unwavering assurance as he prepared for the challenges ahead. Amidst the charged atmosphere, a blonde-haired man exclaimed in surprise as he noticed something had suddenly disappeared. Seizing the opportunity, the skeletal figure, its eyes glowing ominously, aggressively dashed towards the blonde-haired man, who stood frozen in shock. With a fierce determination, the black-gloved figure delivered a powerful punch to the face of the blonde man, whose expression shifted from shock to pain. In the midst of the turmoil, an imposing and powerful monstrous figure fiercely attacked the blonde boy who was caught off guard while a dark-haired girl watched in surprise. Amidst the chaos, the bloodied man lay on the ground, his shock evident as he questioned how such an unimaginable event could be possible. Bruised and in pain, the blonde man desperately struggled to rise from the ground, his earlier shock now replaced by a grim determination to endure. The blonde man, clutching his face in anger, confronted Feng Zhao, demanding to know his intentions. As the blonde-haired man realized the skeleton's formidable capabilities, he reflected with frustration on how it had even detected a sneak attack from a blind spot. The dark figure stood enveloped in smoke, its menacing presence suggesting that while a skeleton mage's summon might be powerful, the mage's own physical strength remained limited. A determined figure raced swiftly across the grassy field, driven by urgency and intent. In a furious outburst, the fierce blonde man lunged aggressively at the calm, dark-haired figure, intent on unleashing his wrath. With focused determination, the dark-haired young man calmly blocked the incoming attack, showcasing his resolve amidst the tense confrontation. With a fierce determination, the dark-haired man delivered a powerful punch to the blonde man, sending him flying as the latter cried out in shock and pain. Charging forward with a glowing fist, the dark-haired character asserted with confidence that overestimating one's capabilities was a mistake. The dark-haired figure, driven by fierce determination, struck the blonde figure with a powerful energy-infused punch, leaving the latter stunned and struggling to comprehend the sudden assault. As the defeated blonde victim fell to the ground, bleeding and overwhelmed, the dark-haired individual stood confidently, his determined eyes meeting the apathetic gaze of the menacing. The blonde man lay on the ground, his body battered and covered in blood, embodying the desperation of the moment. The blue skeleton, embodying boredom, spoke dismissively to the dark-haired man, who remained indifferent as he confidently walked away. The dark-haired man with a commanding presence questioned the group about the noise, to which the short-haired woman explained that Lu Ringa's failed sneak attack on Feng Zhao led to his instant defeat, surprising everyone given the common belief about Necromancer's frailty. As the blonde-haired boy worriedly supported Feng Zhao, the group of young men helped guide him away, reflecting the urgency and concern of the moment. The blonde man, injured but defiant, shouted with anger and determination, vowing that they should just wait for what was to come. Under the calm, clear sky, a brightly lit building stood as a silent witness to the unfolding tension and impending challenges. In a secluded area, a dark-haired man, exuding determination, summoned the system with confidence as a ghostly figure ominously appeared behind him, asserting that no one should disturb him here. With a resolute expression, the dark-haired man held the glowing, swirling object as he prepared to embark on his journey into the undead realm, contemplating whether to begin this daunting experience. The dark-haired figure, embracing his role as a necromancer, channeled green magic with determination, pondering whether his journey into the undead realm would truly be as smooth as he hoped. With intense shadows casting across his resolute face, the dark-haired figure commanded the system to initiate the undead realm experience, aware of the perilous creatures and the risks entwined with rewards in this ominous venture. As the command was given, a glowing green frame manifested ominous demonic hands, suggesting that the system acknowledged his request and was preparing for the journey ahead. Standing resolute before the swirling energy of the mysterious portal, the dark-haired figure reflected on the 18 years he had waited for this system and resolved not to squander the opportunity to grow stronger. A translucent green screen shimmered into existence, presenting the dark-haired figure with a choice, warning that the undead realm experience carried unpredictable risks and asked if he wished to proceed. Determined and unwavering, the dark-haired man confirmed his readiness to begin the undead realm experience, fully aware of the unknown dangers it might entail. As the dark-haired figure stood in the glowing rune-covered circle, emitting a green aura, he felt a surge of surprise mingled with determination, fully embracing the ominous atmosphere surrounding his decision. As the blood-red sun rose over the desolate landscape, casting an eerie glow, the dark-haired figure's determination to embrace the unpredictable journey ahead only deepened. In the foreboding dawn, a crow perched menacingly on a tombstone amidst scattered skulls, echoing the dark-haired man's resolve as he ventured further into the ominous landscape of the undead realm. The desolate and fiery landscape, illuminated by a red moon in the sky, mirrored the foreboding journey that lay ahead in the ominous undead realm. Amidst the fiery landscape, a hooded figure crouched silently, embodying the ominous atmosphere that mirrored the dark-haired man's determined path through the undead realm. Amidst this unsettling backdrop, an imposing skeletal entity with glowing eyes stood menacingly, evoking the dark-haired man's thoughts about its resemblance to the skeleton he had summoned earlier, and pondering if he was truly experiencing the essence of the undead realm. The skeletal figure with glowing eyes activated its mysterious skill, leaving the dark-haired man to wonder if this innate ability referred to as skeletal armament would reveal deeper secrets about the essence of the undead realm. Intrigued, the skeletal figure assessed the ability just used by the clone, contemplating its connection to the mysterious powers within the undead realm. Determined to prepare for any threats, the cautious figure with the white skull-like mask decided to forge a weapon before facing the menacing shadowy creature in the fiery landscape. Suddenly, the ominous atmosphere intensified as two aggressive wolves snarled fiercely, baring their sharp teeth in a menacing display. The skeletal warrior, surprised yet unwavering, faced the two menacing red-eyed wolves with his weapon at the ready, prepared to defend against their aggressive onslaught. A fierce two-headed wolf with glowing red eyes lunges at a mysterious skeletal figure, setting an intense tone for their battle.